Fiiish black minnow. If you haven't heard of these, where have you been? They've become sort of pretty much a cult lure over the last year or so over here in the UK, haven't they?
Hugely successful.
Massively
the reason they've just taken off.
Yeah.
And the reason is people catch bass on them.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they might look a bit odd and a bit as if they won't work.
I must admit, when I first saw them, I thought, it looks really, really good, but you know, what a rigmarole trying to re-rig one. Because there's sort of like an articulated head, obviously, so the hook moves as well. Inside the body, it's weedless, it's got a little V at the top there, so the hook sits in there nicely, so you can cast that into the weed, into the snags even. You know, you could fish that through a wreck, it would just bounce off left, right and centre until fish comes up behind it, grabs it. As it grabs it, it pushes that little bit of soft material down there, exposes the hook, and you're away. Which I guess is one of the reasons why it's so successful.
It's very soft as well.
It is extremely soft. Yeah, that's one of the things that really sold this for me. When I saw them at the TNG trade show a couple of years ago, and they had them in a tank, and they were just pulling them along.
Yeah, and you could really see it
unbelievable.
Yeah.
Super. I mean, if you get a chance, have a look on their website, because I've got a few videos on there of these things in action, and you won't believe how lifelike they look. But this is a big one, isn't it? This is the biggest one.
This is the latest one. This is a 60 gram, which obviously for boat fishing is going to be, make it much more versatile.
Yeah, that's perfect.
You know, 10 grams, they were a bit limited, but you can do so much with the heavier weights.
Yeah, absolutely. I was jig fishing last week, catching some black bream, and we had no tide at all. And you definitely get a better fight, as you know, from just even using a plug. You get a much better fight with a direct contact to the lure than having a trace with a lead bouncing up and down in the middle.
Yeah. Especially with braid, it's just so direct, isn't it?
Yeah. So you get a spare body in there as well. Yeah,
it's part of the combo with all theirs, and you can buy. We sell the spare hooks and we sell the spare heads as well, and the spare tails. So you know, if it all gets if it gets mullered by a bass or what have you, can just buy some new tails and helps keep it a little bit more. Because
they're not only just good for bass. I mean, a mate of mine over in the Isle of Wight, Andy. He's been catching wrasse on them.
Wrasse?
Yeah, loads of them. And you know, when you catch a wrasse on a soft plastic like this, tends to be pretty big. So you know, he's had them sort of £4 or £5 over there.
Has he?
Yeah, and he's actually targeting them with the Fiiish black minnows. So, yeah, they do work.
They do. Oh, there's no question. You can always tell because you get repeats and repeats. And, it's. Nothing succeeds like success, does it, when it comes to that?
No, this is something I haven't seen yet.
That's good. These are new, and they are already in really short supply. That's the crazy Sandeel from Fiiish.
Right.
There you go.
I've wanted to have a look at one of these for ages. Well, not for ages. I've only been out a couple of months. Hey, you can see why people are going crazy for them, can't you?
Well, they took a couple of years. Nick from Topwater Lures, who imports them, he was saying they've taken a couple of years to develop these. And the reason they work is they push a lot of water and it gives the bass something to home in on. Yeah. Which is why he reckons they're.
It's got a rattle in there.
And there's a rattle. Yes, I forgot the rattle. Yeah. All helps, I think.
Excellent stuff. Now, I'm definitely going to have a go with these this summer.
They're going to come in different colours eventually, but as I say, as we speak today, it's they're only in the green, but we're waiting for the other ones, and we're waiting for more stock.
Right. Again, that body is just so soft. You can see why. I mean, I haven't seen this in the water yet, but I should imagine it's a pretty. If it's anything like the black minnow, the action on that's going to be superb.
Well, once again, there's a few clips on YouTube of them working.
Is there? I was actually reading something on the back here about the high swimming vibration. You mentioned earlier that these have been designed to create a lot of disturbance in the water.
That's it, yeah. I think the thing is, it's not just something they've just turned out. It's they have been working
a little R&D going
into. Yeah.
Well, the guys they've got over in France that are actually testing and playing with these things, I mean, they seriously know their bass fishing, don't they?
They do, don't they? Awful lot from the boats. Yeah. They seem to be really into fishing from ribs. And,
and going out in crazy weather and hammering big double-figure bass. Superb, yeah. So there you go, the Fiiish with 3 eyes.
Yeah.